Good day, sir.
Afternoon.
Switch my mic. How's it going?
Good. I'm just reading over this thing. I'm trying to map this thing because well, it's working based on what you did, but I was trying to create my own file and it works, but what I want the output is not showing. So I was just reading over the documentation on that, trying to map out what they had based on what I have and try to create my own file.
On page?
Yeah, I was trying to create my own page because the thing I noticed that the one we had, you just change either index 1 to index 2 and it output. So what I did, I created my own file, I call it login, and I put a text there, but I was trying to map it out to get it to print out, but it wasn't coming up. So I just read over the documentation on that.
Let's start there then. Share your screen and we'll go from there.
Okay.
How are you doing today?
Doing good. Just relaxing in this heat right now.
It's hot over there?
Yeah, it's hot over here. Yeah, like some weird weather right now because we should be moving all into cooler weather, but it's hot. Then the mornings are cold.
Oh, wow.
Rain some days, no rain some days. So it's kind of weird right now.
You can thank global warming for this.
Yeah. And so this is where I was. I was just looking over, trying to map out what they had, matching it onto mine. So, so I created this this file. I followed the exact same syntax, and so I had it in views.
Yeah.
View URL. Yeah, I had it in views, and so I was trying to pull it from views. So I was doing a number of different things because I had it here first, and I tried to color definition from here. Then I just copied what I had in login, within my entire project, what I was going to do. Copied one from login and pasted it inside of views, and then I went to URLs and tried to call it, but it wasn't printing out.
Okay, so let's add it and see what happens.
Okay, so I did this. I had this at first.
Yeah, so that's okay.
Yeah, because I copied it from the syntax.
Well, hang on a second. Why are you putting them in the same file?
Well, that's, I didn't have it in the same file at first. I was trying to call it differently, but it wasn't coming. So that I went try, the long way around. I had put it here first, and then I said it doesn't make sense because then I'm not actually creating a separate file. I'm just creating different views. And so I went back into URLs. And so I was trying to see, I had done an import. So I had done, what did I write? I had it here. And so instead of views here, I went for login.
Okay.
Yeah, but then it showed me that my login is not part of this. I'm like, what was wrong here? So I went here, I added copied the same part again.
Yeah.
Put it down here, and then I just changed where it said views here. I left views. I changed views to login.
Yeah.
And then here's where I got stuck because I wasn't sure what would then replace index 2, because then it's showing me like that. And so I had both cases now where login wasn't coming up, but index 2 was coming up. But when I fixed it, index 2 wasn't coming up. And so I went back here now and I was trying to find exactly what variable I need to call, because I had the idea of putting login again, but I don't think it's login.login. So here's where I was stuck. And so I went back to read over the documentation. Yeah.
But what's the pattern in views? What is views calling? Views.
Okay, so views is just printing out what you had stated here as your request. We had index 1 and index 2. And so I went back to this, I removed what I had. And so depending on what I have, so like if I replace this 2, I would just get this first one, the one that says index, and testing my Python application. And then if I go back to URLs and I change this back to index 2, then I will get this in my second application. So I was trying to work around exactly what this function is mapped onto. So that's where I was.
Interesting. It's interesting because you have the answer, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
The answer is exactly that, index 2. So
Index
this,
2.
well, this index 2, what is it mapped to? This,
Yeah.
when you look at this index 2,
Well,
use.
okay, well, my understanding now, this index 2 is mapped on what we have inside of views, which would be this definition here.
Correct.
So I'm calling this definition, and whatever is inside of index 2 is then printed out here, what's being called.
Correct. So the question is why
Yeah, but then,
the same pattern
okay.
for login?
Okay, so I was, well, the definition for login, I think is exactly what I have here. So I have it as login.
Okay. So
Yeah, and so I have the definition of login. So I was following the same pattern here. So since I have definition of login, I used the definition name in views. So I would go back here. And so I would put, since that's views, and I have mine as login, I use login. And then so I need to find what I'm going to use. So I was back and forth between this because I'm looking at this.
I
I'm like,
understand
okay,
you were back and forth to it. I just want you to focus on one thing.
So okay, so it's views. So I have the file.
Pause for me.
So views.
Pause for me.
Okay.
This is views.
Okay.
That's the way you import it.
Yeah.
The very next thing, there's a dot, and it's called
dot, and then the definition.
So
Okay.
my question is, why wouldn't you follow that exact same pattern? What's throwing you off is the fact that you have a name called login, and you have a file, a definition called login. But the question is, what's different? It's the same pattern.
Okay. Okay. So all right.
So what's tripping you up is the fact that it's login plus login. But if you
login, okay. Yeah, and so that's where I was stuck because I'm like, well, I'm guessing looking at it, I was like, yeah, it can't be login, not login, because then that would give me an error. So I got here, and so I'm like, okay. So I went back and I was just reading over everything. I'm like, oh, what did I do wrong? What did I not have?
Yeah, so it's a good lesson, but it's also pointing out sort of like still a hole in the way that you're thinking. You understand what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not picking up the patterns yet, and as you start development, it's more about pattern matching than any single thing else, right? Because
that's what I was trying to do, because so I went back and I copied everything, but I think like I see what you're saying now. Yeah. I got tripped up with the name. So like maybe a different name. So like instead of this here being login, I should have called this maybe user.
Sure.
Yeah. So now here I would have then had not login, but then it would have been that user.
Yes. Right. Okay. But the pattern is clear. The pattern is you import the page.
Yeah, you call the main file. Yeah.
So, and the separation is the dot. So one is the page, one is the function. And it doesn't matter if they're the same name, you're calling two different things.
Okay, you just have to keep the pattern there.
So you have that pattern, you think. So as we go forward, start trying to find that pattern, right? Any single time you start to get a little confused, go back and look at the pattern. What is the pattern that we used to solve this problem before? And the pattern is always very simple. It's always a big level concept that then gets broken down into a slightly smaller concept. Smaller level. Right. It's that pattern you will see over and over again, and then you'll see that kind of chaining of events, right? Chain from the big one to the small one, and it'll just keep going down in that cycle, right? Okay. So always ask yourself, what is the high level, what is the secondary, and then what's the third, and then you'll kind of start to see that pattern. And then it doesn't matter which language you do, you could see the same pattern over and over. Right. So user does. So what's it complaining about now?
I don't think it's an error, because I read them over, say just ignore the error. So the file came up.
Migrations. Migrate.
So it gave me index 2. It didn't print out. So I had tried that, and I was trying to see if I could print both of them. So is it possible that you're not allowed to to print multiples at the same time, because I was trying to see if I could print both index 1 and index 2.
Yeah. So there's another pattern here that still exists. You have your page, you have your
Okay.
function, and
Yeah.
then you have a name. And what is this
Okay.
name?
Well, that one I couldn't find. That was the one I was lost at.
Right. But
Because
if
I was
anything will tell you is that chances of you having two of the same set of names could potentially be a problem,
okay.
right? You might have it's
So
potential. I don't even actually know the answer, but what I
yeah,
can
because I was trying to find exactly where name was, because when I did it the first time I couldn't get it. So what I did, I scrapped my idea.
yeah.
And so I went back and I tried to see if I can get both of them to put on the same page. But
Right.
no matter what I did, I only got one of them. So I went back and I was scouring through every single file. I have all of them open right now to find out exactly where is name, where is name, where is name. And so name is in manage, but I still don't know what that means. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, name is here. But I don't know what that means. And so I went back every single one of them, but I only found name inside of manage. And so I was like, okay, how do I change that to get both of them to print out? So I just went back and I went over to rereading again. So I found name here, but I don't know what, changing the how to manipulate that to get both of them to print out.
So the first thing that I would try is to try to remove one of the names and see what happens if it breaks.
Okay. Go back to URLs then.
Right? Because what this is kind of telling me here is that I got a clash of some sort.
Yeah, and so that's what I got,
Hang
because
on a second,
I
not
knew
the whole
the
thing, just the secondary parameter, right? So okay, in the world of web development, index is kind of like a special name, if you will. So index is like your entry level point, just like how main is the entry level point in the program.
okay.
Index is your entry level point. That's the name of it. So you'll either see index or you'll see default. Those are the two that you'll name. In the Windows world, it'll be default, and most other world will be index. So if you see index any single thing, it normally represents the entry level point. And in this particular case, what index is suggesting is that this is the entry level point for the website.
Okay.
So right, you can't leave an empty parameter.
Well, and so that's why I didn't delete it, because I was watching it. I'm like, okay, what is it kind of that I can do, because I followed the syntax. And so I was like, okay, I thought about removing it so I could get one to print, but then I looked at them like, but then the syntax is going to be a bit off. I don't think I can.
Well, you can do optional parameters, right? So
Okay.
if you get rid of every single thing from the comma onwards, right? What you're doing is you're getting rid of the parameter inside the system. It'll probably take a different parameter.
Okay.
And theoretically speaking, this becomes the new index. This second login becomes the new index, right? In other words, you can't have two main.
Yeah, well, that's what I was watching, because I went back and I'm like, maybe if I can, copy the same file and just change the value of it, then I could work around that. But I only found main inside of manage. And so I'm like, okay, where else? Yeah. Go there, see. No, it's still printing out index 2.
Did you save it?
Yeah, save it.
You just ran it just now, like you just.
Yeah. I just ran it again, and then I went back to the.
No. You quit the program.
Okay, let me just exit the right now.
Because when it's doing a build, right? So it's possible that the configuration.
Let me kill the.
I'm actually not certain, but we'll figure it out together.
Okay.
And then we'll go look at the documentation.
Yeah. So that's it's still bring out index 2.
So index 2 is showing up
regardless index 2, yeah, still, yeah, regardless of what I did. So
So the other thing is, you also have, this is another pattern. Again, have not read the documentation, don't even know what the answer is. I'm just following patterns, yes?
Okay,
and I also have another pattern here. What is the pattern? I have two of them that are quotations.
Yeah.
And they're both empty. So what that's suggesting to me is that if I have www, so my URL right now is this, yes?
Okay.
Every single thing after the / So what I'm saying is /admin. This guy here is /admin. So I have to write /admin after that to get to this file here, right?
Okay.
If I don't put anything, in other words, if I don't do any single thing after the slash, it's going to look for a path that does not have any single thing.
Slash.
Okay.
Okay.
So in
Then
this
let's go
particular
to
case,
index 1. All right. So
I
let
have
me
two
try
of
that.
them
Okay.
that are doing the same thing, right? So what I can do is I can either put a path here, so give this a name, or I could do /log, and I could give one of them a name, right? Or the other pattern is the computer is going to read from top to bottom, right? It's going to read the first line, then the second line, then the third line. So I'm willing to bet any money that if I swap these two lines, right?
Okay.
If I swap them, then I'll get the login page. So let's try that first. It's actually
all right. So let me switch it. Let me kill this one because I added the admin and it took me to an admin page requesting login credentials. So let me go back then. So we switch.
You actually press Alt and you press Up key, it'll actually just jump up to the next line. Or Alt
okay,
down.
Alt and up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Alt and down. Let's switch it.
All right. So all right, let me run it from here and see what I get then.
Yeah.
Then we can just take out, change it syntax. Okay, yeah, now it comes up. So it's reach top to bottom then.
Right. So that's the pattern, right? You're always looking for those patterns. So now that tells me now that if I have to give one of these a different URL path. I can't have both of them with the same path.
Empty. Okay. So we can just
only one should be empty.
Okay, so we can put this as,
put it as
I don't want to use index.
put it as whatever you want to do.
As a start. I don't want to put it as index again. Okay. Slash.
No, I don't think you have to put the slash. The slash is just.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's
all right.
Worth experimenting because I actually don't know.
Let me. All right. So let's say now we want to call index 2. We would then go at the end of the 8,000 where I put the word start slash, right?
Correct. Correct. You just put start. You don't have to put
the slash. Okay, let's start. All right, let's see what we get then. So it'll be /start. But yeah, I got second index now.
Fantastic.
So
you're starting to see how they're mapped together, right?
Yeah.
You have a direct correlation between the URL itself and every single thing after the slash. Now you're seeing 8,000 because you're on localhost, and 8,000 is like a special port, right? So every single thing after the slash, you could start breaking down your URL. So again, same concept. If you want to do like, say, for example, we're trying to build a classroom system. So you'd have like a /classroom, and then underneath each classroom, you'd have /students, right? And then underneath you might have /grades. So you kind of start navigating down the pipeline like that. And keep separating them by folders and
each area. So like now I could go back now and I could create, for example, so login, I can say, okay, entry, the data entry, and I put whatever I want the data entry now, and I say, okay, after login, then data entry, so you go login /data entry, and so so in the URLs now, I would then write the path in, and then for each path, I would have to indicate a starting text that I want to use. So if I say, okay, enter, I'm going to say, okay, enter. So, 8,000 /enter, and that would take you to the entry page.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's good. That's good progress. So let's see. A couple things I want to see if we could kind of get done today. So we have to introduce the concept of a template. Again, which I don't know how to do, so I'm going to read the documentation on it.
Okay, well, let's go do that then.
Why we need a template is because you're going to build a website. So let me just share my screen so at least we could. I think for a second, then we'll sort of go from there. So share. Actually, I'm experimenting with a new
my documentation.
Damn it. Keep forgetting how to do this stuff. So share screen. Number one. So if we had a website, so let's just go with this website, the documentation website, right? You want to start thinking of it in sort of layers. So no different than if you had a Microsoft Word document, you would do something like, where's my mouse now? Which screen am I sharing?
I'm seeing one with key facts on the YouTube video.
Oh, YouTube. Okay, sorry, wrong screen. Hang on a second. I'm studying finances.
Okay.
This is my side hobby every Saturday. I learn some random stuff. Share screen tree. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So if annotation. So if you were to think of a Word document itself and a web page, yeah, not a Word, just a Word document, plain old Microsoft Word, right? You got the concept of a header, you got a concept of a footer, right? And so you could basically have that concept repeat, the header and footer repeat on every single page.
Every single page,
yeah, right? And therefore you get some consistency layout. No different than the web, right? So you got a web page in itself, right? This is a web page here. You got the exact same concept. You got a header, which is this green section here, because the header is going to be on every single page. If when I go to the overview page or the downloads page or the news, I want these.
Django remains at the top.
Correct, right? I also want the search to remain up at the top here. What else do I want to remain on the page? I want this side navigation to remain on the page, right?
Okay.
So every page that I go to, I have these sort of concepts of header, and then obviously if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, I'm going to have some kind of footer. So the only thing that's really changing is this section.
The content area.
Yes. So what I want to do is I want to build my site in such a way where I can kind of change the header, change the footer, change the site navigation, independent of the content itself. If I decide tomorrow that I want to make this red, I don't have to go change all 50 pages or
everything.
All
Yeah.
Change the header, change the footer. So that's basically the concept of templating, right? I'm going to create a template of some sort that's going to give me that functionality. So a couple of things we're going to do just from the basics in terms of just getting our folder structure right. One is we're going to create folders that literally say header and footer and every single thing else in between. So now I got to remember which damn project I was working on. My Python, right? I think it's this one.
Is that one? That one with the manage. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, okay. CMD. All right. So what we're going to do is make sure that we have the structure right regardless. So you're on the pages, or under your pages, what you're going to do is create a header, a folder header.
Okay, hold on. So because I was reading over and it was telling us polls, and we changed polls to pages. I have the pages folder. The ones you have to the top, are those the same as the ones you have within the folder where you have URLs, login, Michael, and view?
I think I just messed up this entire thing. Is basically what I did. Yeah. I had this was a separate system from this one here because I think I did it twice. Yeah, so the truth is I'm gonna end up just deleting that just for the sake of not making it confusing.
So in this case, I could just move all of my files to the pages folder because I don't think I have mine inside pages.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So and then that should get us there. So so we got a pages on under pages. We're gonna create a header folder, and then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna create a footer.
Let me create.
Yeah. And then we're gonna create a side navigation. So we're just gonna put a side and a V. Let's just go with that. Right. So I'm doing exactly what the website did. I'm just laying out my structure. So I got some kind of a header. I got some kind of a side navigation. I have some kind of footer. I know my content is going to be inside of the middle. Right.
Let me finish creating those. Header.
Yep. No worries.
And then side navigation. Side nav.
Yeah, where's my where's my stop video here.
Okay.
Black magic here.
Oh,
Free. There.
okay. Got this created then.
All right. So simple thing is, let's just create a new file. We'll call it literally top. Let's say top. I don't know, top header.
Border.
Top
Okay,
header.
top header.
Yeah. So I just want to name it top header. So normally I would name it header, but I want to actually make sure that the folder name is not conflicting with the file name, right?
Yeah, I know, to clash with the
So yeah,
name.
because then it gets
Yeah.
confused. So
Yeah.
same thing I'll do for the bottom. I'll just call it bottom footer.
Header.py.
Right. And then my side navigation, I'm going to just call it side nav something. So left side nav dot py. And
then left.
I'll just call it left side nav.
Okay, left side nav. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to go copy my exact same this is about. So let's go copy basically your definition and just put it in each one of them, right? So I'm going to put that in the top. So at least we could at least print out something. So
okay.
top.
Okay. So let's go. Next one.
Top header. Page, sure. Then we got the side navigation page. Yeah, and then we got the bottom footer page. Okay, so we got that. Now, let me know when you're caught up.
Yeah, right now.
While you're doing that, we gotta look for templates. Getting started. So right in your first Django part 1. Okay, so we did all of that. Settings URL, yeah. Got that. Admin migration models. Route views.
Yeah, I was reading, but I guess I was waiting until for us to get there, because I was reading over something and they said on migration, like, okay, we don't have anything on migrations yet. So
yeah, I'm not sure about the migration. I think it's just an upgrade. I think it's just they just upgraded their folder.
Okay.
So install lab. So they're doing polls. So polls are the odds.
Yeah. So polls versus pages.
I find that this is like they're going into database already. My goodness.
Yeah. So I was reading. I had to go back and like I have to keep telling myself that wherever I see polls, it's pages first, because like, yeah, we don't have polls, and so I was trying to follow the structure. So when you put admin, go back up a bit.
Yeah.
If you put admin a little more down, like a page just passed, like a little admin page with ask for username and password.
Oh, here.
What was it? Yeah. If you just put admin at the end of the 8,000, you get an admin page, I guess, by default.
Yeah, so the Django, for this reason, Django automatically automates creation of admin section model. So Django was written in the newsroom environment. Very clear separation between content publishers and site. So event sports, content displayed in public Django solve the problem of creating a unified interface. Interesting. So create user admin starts.
Yeah. So when so you put admin at the end of it, you get this page. Yeah.
So groups admin. So admin question site polls. So you're doing a poll. So now you're asking questions. Interesting.
Yeah.
So let's see. Write in more views. Now let's write another view. So views are slightly different because they're taking arguments. So
okay. So question ID.
You're looking for question ID.
ID. Where do you bring question ID from?
This is how you take a parameter.
Yeah.
Like that. Import your path. Yeah, I got that. So you see, he named it details.
Detail, yeah.
Detail. So this is what he's doing. So he got the. Okay, so he's doing this
Question
parameter.
ID. But then at the time, but then it says creating more views. So, but where did he get the question ID from? Because the definition request we are.
This is
Okay.
dynamic. So what's happening is when you enter, they're going a little bit too fast here. To be
Yeah,
honest.
but yeah, right here is where I'm talking about. Where it said writing more views. So they said you add new views. So let's say now we already have the first one where we're using there, but he says now request, and the second parameter is question ID.
Yeah, yeah. So what they're doing,
But then
they're making dynamic pages. So because they have a database, they're able to generate dynamic pages fairly like quickly. But the problem is that you have holes in in your concepts, right? Like there's concepts that you're still missing. So the goal is for you to slowly build up, right? So we got a little bit more work to do before we get to the database section. That's basically
okay.
So yeah, I'm not gonna do this yet. What we're gonna do is we need to templated systems. Okay, so this is a little relevant. This template here. So question. Okay, so use a template system. So back to the details of view pool and questions. Detailed template might look like this. So question that template text a choice. Navigating templates bold index. Yeah, they're going very fast. Right in the first. Okay, so this is details. This is forms, views. Yeah, if I was starting out with this, I'd be totally confused by now.
Well, I saw the first I was trying to go with, and so I'm not sure where because I'm looking at the argument. I'm looking at the arguments, but I say, okay, in our case we have requests. We copy that as a default from the site. Could we change request something else? Let us say, for an example, just for our own coding purposes. Let's say we were to change requests where that would come in from for question ID, because that's what they're working on. I mean, in their case, they're just doing a general question setup. But then I'm not sure where request is for us.
Sorry, go it over again.
No, I'm saying like in our case, right? When you look at, for example, the views. When you look at views, we have definition, index, and our argument is request.
Right.
Right. And so what I see from there is that his second argument is that you have request and then you have question ID.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm asking, like, where is request for us? Like, if we wanted to modify our code, let's say we want to change that argument from being a request to something else, because I don't see that one either. I don't see that argument, because I'm going back to what we did with. Yeah, I'm just talking like when we did with my programming code, and we would say, okay, I want the argument to be letter. So when I enter the letter that comes from one particular code, depending on what that letter is. Yeah, so I'm just trying to find where request is, because I'm just trying to build on what I'm reading and what they're doing. So the documentation is showing that they're asking for two arguments, being that of request and then one of question ID.
Right.
So I'm just asking where request is for us in our code, where we find request, like so, the variable request then.
So request is actually given to you by the system.
Okay.
It's kind of like magic, is what I would say at this particular point.
Okay, so that's
it's just handed to you, and it has it has some properties in it.
Okay.
So that you can do web things. Is
I
would describe it, right?
Okay, all right.
So
because that's what I try to do. Like I just try to map variables, because like if I can understand what the variable does, then I can modify my variable to match that one. So I'm just looking at this. I'm like, okay, he has requests there, which I get because we already have requests. But I'm like, what if I want to change requests to something else? So I was looking through the program and I couldn't find it.
So I'm not 100% certain, but I actually don't think changing this name really matters. I think it's a parameter
Okay,
position thing.
the first parameter. Okay,
Yeah. So I don't think that really makes a difference. And that's why this
okay,
here you could name it any single thing that you want as well too. It's just
okay,
position, right?
okay, okay,
That this result function or definition has multiple parameters, and if you keep adding parameters, they mean certain things in different position.
okay. So question then, since I'm doing this, let's say for example, I would write a normal definition. I call my definition. I would say, okay, add, and I would say definition add, and I put, let's say, A, B, C, D, and I put those four parameters there.
Okay.
And down to the bottom, when I call my function, I can say, okay, add, and I put let's say X, Y, Z.
Okay.
Right. In that scenario, I match all, let's say W, X, Y, Z. So I match all four of them there.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that at the top I have A, B, C. In that case, then.
I'm reluctant to say yes because I there might be some holes in.
Okay, well, I'm thinking about it that way because I mean, I'm just doing this on top of my head. I'm sure I would have to run it first to be able to verify what I'm saying, but I'm just checking, like, as long as you have the matching arguments, yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah,
That's correct. Yes, you are right about that. The name doesn't necessarily dictate things. It's just
okay,
that you still have sort of like the old, not old, but the Python logic that you were doing before.
okay, okay,
Whereas with the web, there's you're kind of like the best way to describe it is there's a bucket and you were locked in this bucket, and there's a lot of things that are kind of just injected into your application by default, right? So you just get them for free. So this request, you get it for free because it was passed into you.
yeah.
You know, in this case, this parameter here, it's you created the variable, but it was passed into you.
Okay.
Somebody else, right? So
it's like I created, but I didn't create at the same time. So
correct.
yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So what you have to understand is how to use these things that are passed into you. You have to understand how to use them based on the way you're trying to accomplish, right?
Okay.
So you wouldn't actually, you would, but that's why I'm reluctant to say yes to that, because you wouldn't actually really create another thing to can call this method. This method here is really like a page, right? It's like each one of them, this thing here is basically what it's doing is returning the page.
Okay.
So it's like it's basically like the construct or the formula on how to set up a page in the Django framework, right? Like
so all right. So my understanding basically is like this. My argument could be whatever I want it to be, as long as it is, I don't want to use the word repeated, but allow it repeated within the program. So like he has an argument request ID, and then he has question, blah, 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 PK equal question ID. So as long as I have the repetition there, then the argument that I put doesn't really matter then.
It does not.
Okay.
Like the argument name you're saying, right?
Yes, the argument name, the name.
Yeah, the name doesn't matter. The name
okay, all right.
The name is just, it's a variable name. You could
well, I'm just checking because I know, like, in my case, what I try to do is that I would, like, I would more modify programs. So I would take this program as is, and then I would say, okay, what if I wanted to change something? Because I don't want, like, when I move question ID now, then it's, something stagnant in the program, and all of a sudden I'm ending up in more problems. So just checking with that. Okay.
Understood. The problem here is that I won't recommend you, and that's how I'm trying to take a sort of an approach of kind of building up your knowledge, because copying and pasting what end up happening, you got a couple of foundational holes.
And you don't know exactly what their code is doing, and I that's why I don't really like copying code, because then, I mean, the code works for you, but when I get the code, I'm still not entirely sure what's going on.
Yes.
And then when I have to modify the code, I'm still not sure what exactly I'm supposed to change.
Correct.
So it doesn't really do me any good if I just copy your code. I don't know what's going on.
Yes. So The short answer is what we need to do is we need to find a template system. A better way to describe this templating system. So I'll do a quick Google. DJNGO template. Let's say tutorials.
Okay.
Tutorials. So creating a homepage and a web.
How about the second one? There's a templates Django documents.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep off of the Django documentation because they're trying to get somebody that could just give me a philosophy.
Okay.
Separate logic from presentation, decouple HTML, separate. Okay, so basically what they're saying is so that you can separate functionality. So the question is, how do you do it? So display logic. So okay, so template tag is surrounded by these curly braces. Template tag does something. This is defined vaguely and is extremely flexible. So template tag, logic tab, declaration, content import. So include header. So basically what I'm trying to do is how Django finds template. Okay, so let's see. Template source and create your site adds a template settings to your settings.
Setting the PY.
It's like this.
So in settings, we would add that.
Template
Backend.
True options. It's important. I need to note that here in line 5, when APIs is true, show what template will look like.
Template folder called template is listed.
Okay, so events templates. So the templates are really HTML pages, not PY pages, it seems like. So when you tell Django,
load it,
then put that into load the first file based on your app installed settings. So if you wanted to load the index and other apps, but never
event app listed.
Okay, so creating a site template. So my website have templates create common.
Folder.
Okay, so we need to create a templates folder.
Okay.
As you
templates. So the name my site folder.
So we'll look for templates in the settings file. So backend Django that templates backend Django templates, and then they're set in the templates folder itself. So it looks complicated, but it's easy to understand. Okay, so that's just having the path. And then in the templates folder, you would do something like this. Okay.
Okay, HTML. I did dabble in this a little.
Okay. And then display in the template. So here, views. Now you create a template with IntelliJambo and the display the container site.
Okay.
So views. So how do you import the template?
Well, from what I read, you in the settings folder, I guess in ours, we'd have to copy and paste the file, the code up at the top.
There, okay. So it's in the render. Well, how do you know?
Yeah, where render is
so see, title and cal. There's title. Okay, title, cal. I see. Got it. Okay, so
Cal Sharper calendar, right? Yeah.
Yeah, these are and then a bunch of random.
Yeah, I know. Then we could just modify that.
Calendar.
HTML calendar. My club event calendar.
Okay, let's try. Okay, let's try that basics first. Template inheritance. Okay, that's too complex. So let's try at least getting this going.
Okay.
So I did header and footer. So we'll simplify it a little bit. So we need this. So basically, I don't know if we need the templates folder, but sure, we'll follow the convention. So basically their convention is to put a templates folder.
Okay, so we have to create a templates folder.
Yeah. So
what
leave
would
the header and footer for now. We'll come back to that.
Okay, so leave that as is, and we'll just create a generic template folder then.
Yeah.
All right.
So put it. Yeah. So put it inside of the pages templates.
Okay.
Then we'll make a new file. And we'll call it. Let's do exactly what he did. Base.html.
What do you name it? HTML.
So I named it base.html.
Okay, base.html.
Yeah. So the HTML is exactly.
Okay, yeah, I know the extension changes to an HTML file.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just got to do the absolute bare minimum. So HTML angle brackets. So just follow me.
Right now. Okay. So inside of the HTML.
So in base.html, you need literally open angle brackets.
Okay,
HTML,
and this depends on the HTML file. Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Mine looks a bit different, but I'll work on that later. HTML. Okay.
Oops.
How
come this thing keeps going away? Okay, let me know when you're ready.
I'm right there with you.
Okay, got it. So what you need is an open and close. So you got
I got it already. Yeah. So
then you need a close HTML.
Yeah.
So forward slash.
Yeah, I did.
Got it.
I had my girlfriend with a course in this. I remember anything you open, you gotta close. So
yeah. So we need a title.
Yeah.
So we'll say
open title.
Test site. Close title. Then we need a body.
Well, this is easy because now when we do it now, the Python that does automatically once you hit enter.
Visual.
Yeah. All right. So body.
Okay. So now let's say hello world. That's what we're doing. And
okay,
then
let me copy what you have right there. So title. Okay, right now body. Right now. So
let's say my page content. So let's try with that.
Right now. So my test website.
Actually, where it says hello world, we're gonna place it as we're gonna put it as title. So let's try that.
Right.
While you're catching up, let me
yeah, right now. Yes. And then what do you put in the body?
In the body, I just have
oh, nothing. Okay. Then H1
title and
okay, H. No, I haven't, babe. Body.
No.
And then so nothing goes in the body. And then it's one sec. H. All right. Open H1. Close. And curly brackets title, right?
Yeah.
Two curly brackets.
2 curly braces, yes.
Okay. And then after that, it's that's the last one's left me. And then P, page content. All right. My codes look a bit different from yours. I think I might need to install.
As long as you have a title.
Yeah, I think I might need to install
open
something.
And close title. You got to open and close. Sorry, open and close HTML. Open and close title.
Yeah, the thing is mine are blue, and then even when I put my curly brackets, the color doesn't change.
As long as you have it in the base.html.
Okay. Base.html. Yeah, I have it. That's it. But I think I need to install something because my mine when I put the base, let me something. Okay, hold on.
Look in the bottom right-hand corner.
Right now, right now.
There.
This, right now, let me just delete this. Yeah, and recreate this all over again. So new file, base.html. And mine looks a bit weird for some reason. Okay.
So while you're doing that, test.
Okay, you can run it. I'm right there with you. Because what mine does as soon as I open a once I open something, it automatically closes once I hit space. So
Right.
yeah, so I don't have to worry about closing mine.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have template. So we need this in the
Settings.
In the settings of py. So on the templates.
You have to send that one to me so I can put it in my
backend.
Backend templates.
Let's see what we got.
Okay, we might have to make one change in this though, because he has my club site and we don't have that, or that doesn't matter. The file or text?
We will have a settings file. Where is my settings file?
Check in. Where is it? I think I have one of those. Let me see right now. Let me double check. Yeah, it's supposed to be with the first one in the my site folder.
The one that I dropped.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, the one that I deleted. I wonder if I can bring it back. Let me see. Might be in my recycle.
What if I send you back mine that I have? That won't that override it, or you'll have to redo it again?
I'm not sure. No, I think it'll just cause more problems. I could recreate the.
Okay. Well, let me send you what I have, and then you just recreate the settings then.
Yeah. No. I think I'm missing more files than just the settings file since I deleted.
Okay.
That's why. So what I will do is first let me go here and try to
Checking pages and see.
now, pages is where my files are at right now.
No, I was checking pages. No, it's not there. No, go back in the page and check the one the next folder in there. No, in pages, and the first folder there.
No, this is something
else. No, it's not there. That would have been there.
Okay, I'll just create it. So let me see. You Control Shift N. Control Shift.
Settings.
Item project 2. Let's call it that. Oh, I forgot the command already to create the Django site.
It's on CMD.
Python M Django. No.
Version.
Django admin start project by site. So. If I could do that. No. I'll give it this extra. So.
My site.
Okay. There we go. So it's in that folder. Okay, so I just need to copy this, bring it back over to here and here.
Yeah.
Paste. Except for URL, skip that. Okay, there we go.
So in the settings now.
Settings. And We're looking for templates.
Templates. It's there already.
Yeah, so what's the difference now?
Templates already there.
So in backend, need a property called backend. Okay, so we already have a property called backend.
Yeah, backend. Yeah, something before.
Property.
So at line 4, he says
dir
base dir and my club site.
So
Is that my club site slash templates text, or is that a file name?
No, that's your project name.
Okay, so that goes.
So put it under app true.
True.
So
then
dir is a property.
So we have to change. The one that says my club site.
Pages.
Okay. Send that to me in the chat, so I don't have to go look for the document.
Yeah, no worries.
No, I haven't said. Just send me the file thing you just copied. The same thing you just copied, the same file, right? The same line of code right there. Then I'll change it to what I have. Okay. Change the pages. Let me send you the
link as well too.
Okay. Okay. Settings. ARs. And then change. Okay. Mine doesn't change for some reason. Pages.
What doesn't change?
No, the colors for mine. I don't know why.
Oh, over in the bottom right hand corner, you see where it says here. There should be an option to select language.
Where?
Just bottom right hand. It's very corner here.
Okay.
Should see an option to select language.
Okay.
If you click on that, it should ask you which language it takes, and then you just type Python like that.
Okay. Okay, Python configure language.
Templates.
Excuse me.
That's you.
Okay.
And then
right now, where was I?
Okay, so we want to return a render. Okay. So how does he? So what does he import? So
it's still not giving me
import render.
It's still not giving me. It's reading my file as. Tell me I have 3 errors.
Hang on a second. Do you have Python installed in the extension?
Yeah. I saw something come earlier and tell me that I don't have, but then
let's go back to let's go to extensions.
Okay. And then check
extensions. And then type Python. Python. And then
the first one, right? The first one?
Yeah.
Pylons?
Python Pylons, yeah.
I have that one. I have that one already.
Okay.
I have that one already.
And you have the Python.
Okay, that one I don't. The third one I don't have. So install the third one.
Yeah.
The third one.
Yeah, Python extension pack.
Okay. Okay, installing.
Yes, because that has Django inside of there.
Okay. Okay, still installing. All right, let's work in the meantime then. Then while that does its thing there.
So
okay. We're at settings.
Yeah, so I don't think he needs anything else. So let's just see.
Okay.
So the only thing you need to do is just try to render the page now. Okay, so we need this line because we have this one already.
Okay.
I'm not going to do any single thing with date. All right, so I don't need any of these.
So we need the first one, right? From Django, that shortcuts import render.
Yeah, I don't know what the shortcut is. I think they're just literally what it is, a shortcut to the real thing. So okay, we'll go back to pages now.
So the pages
pages.
folder. Because we're in the folder.
Yeah,
So
we're
we
already in
want
folder pages. So we're just gonna go to views.
views.
And then I'm gonna import, I'm gonna drop it into views.
Okay.
Get rid of that index too, so it doesn't confuse us.
Yeah.
Do one. So I imported my shortcut.
And okay.
And then I'm gonna import, and then I'm gonna return this object here. So I'm gonna return this guy here. Instead of returning HTTP direct response, I'm gonna return render. I'm gonna take the return the request. I'm gonna call it base HTML. And then it doesn't know anything about title, and it doesn't know anything about call. So we don't want call. We don't want call. We got a title, and we have a with page content, I think.
Yeah, page content.
So that's what we want to return. So basically, in this views, you need to just do title equals hello world, and page content equals, sure, this is the content of my page. Let's do that. Put that there.
And that to page content.
And that's equal to page content. There.
And then title is equal to title.
Okay, let's see if we get anything running here. So, so is it again? Python start server?
Right now, let me get and tell you. It's right now. I don't know. Right now, let's close the shell off.
Find the docs, I remember.
It's
Python manage run server.
manage that py run server. Py manage that.
Got it.
That py that run server. Okay, I think it's done installing.
All right. What problems do we have?
Okay.
A lot.
I'm still
base.py.
Okay.
Manage.py. Okay, this might be because I just completely messed up my project. So what I might end up doing is just copying this folder here. Copy. I might have just messed up this entire project. So, and I don't know enough to
fix it.
Well, I'm gonna take this guy. I'm gonna take the views, and I'll take the URL, and maybe settings. No, yeah, maybe settings, because settings just came from the other project. I'll copy that, and I'll go to abandon ship. I'm gonna go back to this project here, and then I'm gonna paste that there, and then I'll go into this guy, cmd
change directory.
Go into this guy here. Then we'll go to URLs. We only care about views right now, so we'll get rid of these two. Views is called index, so we'll just name that index. So a bunch of stuff, and then okay, Django can now resolve. Yeah, you know what? I think I might have to be in the actual in this folder here. I think that's what I gotta move this file. Sorry, I gotta go. Need to be inside of that folder here.
Okay, let me see.
Replace, yes. And then I need to open this.
I'm still, I don't know why am I still looking like this. What is my error about?
Are you getting a syntax error?
Not a syntax error, just tell me 3 problems in this file. It's marked as red. And then when let me share my screen and show, and then when I create my my HTML file, mine doesn't look like yours, and then all my content is it doesn't well, now it's showing up red, but
Okay, share your screen. Let's look at
right
it.
now everything is blue for me. There's no big color change.
Interesting. I think I have to we have to redo the whole project. But okay, let's look at yours quickly and then we'll
see. I'll work on that. This is what I'm looking at here, and then it's telling me in settings where I copied and paste the file in. There's 3 problems. Then if you look at my base HTML file, it doesn't look like yours, and then mine doesn't. Everything is listed as.
There's something wrong with this base here. What's wrong with it?
Where?
What's wrong with this file?
I don't know. I don't know.
Nothing's wrong with it. What?
Yeah. No, let's say mine doesn't look like yours. Then when I went to settings, all I did in settings was I copied the file inside of DIRs.
Yeah, well, the settings is completely off, but the other one, there's nothing wrong with it. So a couple things here. Number one is first undo what you have, undo what you did just now, like whatever was done. Keep undoing until you get back to normal state. Okay. So what is the code that you copied?
This. I know. On the chat. I copied this.
I can't see anything.
Right. Yes, right now. I'll paste it. Yeah, I'll paste it right now. This.
No, don't paste it in there. Just paste it in, like, don't paste it in there. Paste it in Notepad and then compare it.
Okay. Oh. Okay. And compare it?
Yeah. So because I can't see your notepad, but so what is it that is what is the pattern that exists here in the file?
Okay, let's see. I guess this, remove this. And this becomes pages. Okay. Oh, I had the extra brackets. Okay.
Yes. Because it's a key value pair, right?
Okay.
Okay, so theoretically speaking, yours should work.
Okay.
Go, where's your bait? Where's your
yeah,
view?
I have to go edit my views now. So all right, let me remove this. And I have to import what's from Django.
No, wait, hang on. What are you doing?
Not just yeah, render.
But no, hang on a second. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Because you're bringing in 2 import statement of this. Where's the code that I sent you?
It was
Don't try to make it up unless you copy exactly what.
You just sent me the first one. That was the first one that I put in settings. Only that one.
Didn't I put in the chat the okay, click. All right, you sent you the link. Click on the link and
okay. All right.
Don't ever guess like that, because then that's where you're gonna get into weird problems that you have no idea what the hell is going on. Because you're not because what you just did there was try to copy. You're looking for render in a module that doesn't exist. Render doesn't exist in a module. Okay. So scroll all the way down to create in templates, and then keep going down till you get to display a template. Displaying a template. Create inside template, and we go to displaying a template, right? Here we go. And the first line.
Okay. Now I see it. It's from shortcuts.
Yes, these are like that bucket that I told you. This is what, like, you're bringing in these modules, and they're very important to get the names right. Okay. Else you'd be like wondering what the hell's going on. All right, then you got to do.
My render is still.
Yeah, so
not
copy
perfect.
the render, copy their render. Line 16.
Okay.
Make sure you get the entire thing.
For me. Giving me off, okay.
And then you're going to replace your response, your line 5 with their line 16.
Okay. Okay, and then copy this. My line 5 with their line 16. All right, so then I need to change title to title, remain the same, right?
Well, that's the variable that we have. And that was the other variable that we have in the.
We had, this is supposed to be page content.
Okay, be careful how you're doing it.
Yeah, that's why I undid it. So this is page content. Let me check that I wrote mine correctly. I think I wrote mine different from yours.
Template. Also, your template is not in the, that's not in the templates folder, just to be clear, yes?
But the base HTML
This is
file?
not in the templates folder.
Okay.
I know that because I see there's an arrow next to it. See
Okay.
that arrow next to the template now?
Okay.
The folder.
So it's title and page content with small
Okay.
letters. The title, page content, equal to page content.
Okay.
Am I getting an error here? So the render came in.
Okay, so you're getting an error because you don't have those variables defined. Those are variables, okay? So what you have in here, this is a little bit more thing, but what you have here is you have a key and then you have a value. Okay, you have a key separated by comma, you have another key, and then you have a value. So the key is a string, the value is whatever you want to pass into it. Okay, so you need to create those two variables just above line 5.
Title equals my title.
Yeah.
Page content. But you have page content equal hello world. Hello world.
Okay.
I still give me an error here. What happened? Space. Okay.
Okay. So let's try to run it and see.
All right.
So this is views. So it's views the default page in a route.
Views?
The page that we're looking at is the views page. Is that the
Yeah.
default in the route?
No, I think we.
What's the route page?
I missed something. I have index 2. Where is my index 2? URLs. Index 2. Move this. Okay, I want.
So right now your page is start. Your page is forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let me run it and let me change this still. So the login page works. So start. What did we get? We got an error. The template does not exist at start.
Okay, well okay, so let's simplify this. Get rid of the /start, get rid of the thing. You have a route, you have a
route error.
You have a routing error because the template is looking in the wrong location for the thing. So get rid of line number 22. Get rid of start.
Yeah, I was just about to do that.
Just so it's just
backspace that out, yeah, and then just put this back as a blank a blank template. All right.
And then you just moved your, well,
Yes,
actually, I think your template is in the right folder. I'm not certain if it is, we'll see.
well, yeah, I have to check. It's still error again. So for the top one didn't matter. The top one didn't matter.
Well, hang on. Quit the server, restart the server.
Okay, let me just kill the shell and run the template again. Still same error.
What is the error?
It says template does not exist.
Okay, so where's your template pointing to? Why don't we go look at the path because you just moved your base.
Well, this is showing me Python file.
No, it's saying template doesn't exist. So what I'm saying to you now is you need to fact check where your template is coming from. Okay. So where did we put the settings? Where is your template in relation to it?
Settings. So settings.
So where is your template?
So the template is inside of pages.
Okay, and is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, but I'm thinking because I don't have my. Let me just move maybe. I move everything.
Hang on a second. Don't guess. Just think about it for a second.
Well, okay? I'm thinking that the fact that my files are not in the pages folder, that's why I'm getting the error.
You are correct about that, but if you go back to your settings, where are you looking for template? On line 57, where is template supposed to be?
Template is supposed to be inside the pages folder.
Okay, and is that where you have your templates?
And I think that's in a folder by itself.
Right, but you could collapse template and double check that, right?
Yeah, well, I can see the arrow. The smaller arrows are inside of the folder.
Good.
Yeah. So then this has to be side of this. Okay.
All right, I'm specifically asking that so you could kind of, right? This is a small little minute details you got to just kind of fact check for each one of them. Now we might still have an issue here, but I'm not 100% certain.
Let me run it again and see. If not, then then my files are
changing
are missing. Yeah.
One thing I noticed is that he didn't actually specify base.html.
Okay, still same error again.
What is the error?
Yes, the same template not found.
Template not found, but hang on, is it telling you which template?
Let me just share the screen and show you the That's what I'm getting. Okay,
so template does not exist. Exception value base.html.
It says to the bottom, it says line 47. Response equal
before we get there, we got a lot of information that we could decipher. Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to not let you skip. Okay, so I'm looking at a slash here. I'm doing some kind of get. It's looking in this / here. None of this was so okay. So I know my exception is template doesn't thing. It's looking for base.html. So obviously it's figured out that template is a base, like if as long as in base it should be fine, or at least that's what they're telling me in some capacity. And your folder, your Python path is my site. That's the name of your folder.
Yeah.
And now it's okay, so it's going through a bunch of stuff that I have no idea what this is about, but I know it's going through a bunch of stuff. Then it tells me Django tried to load these templates in this order. So it's now looking for Django, my site, pages, template, base.html. And it says source does not exist. So I just put my file in pages, template, and base.html. So it should work. So what's missing here?
Well, that's what I was saying, because I don't know why mine looks like that. Because I'm looking at yours, and then my base.html file, the colors are not there. I don't know if that's the error, that if you're not reading it as an HTML file.
I don't think you should be hung up on the colors. The colors is just an IDE thing.
No, well, I know, but like in the case, because when I began doing this, the first time I used Visual Studio Code, I didn't actually install Python. And when I didn't do that, like when you put print and stuff, everything comes out white. It doesn't read it as a Python file. So I'm thinking maybe the fact that when, cause like for example, certain statements carry certain colors. So like if you type print wrong, you know it's wrong because print should be at a certain color. And so I'm looking at mine like this, and then it doesn't look like yours, but with the colors, I'm thinking maybe that might be an error. Yeah.
I understand, but there's different types of errors. That is a IDE and a labeling error. You could type this in Notepad. It could be all black. The reason why we know Python is working is because you're getting Python exceptions.
Okay.
Right. So the mere fact that you're getting a Python exception means that there's absolutely not wrong. There might be something wrong with your code, but in terms of Python actually working, we don't have that problem because it's not telling us Python could not run. It's telling us Python tried to do something and it's not working the way that it is. Right? So we can rule out every single thing that has to do with Python configuration, and we can focus on our code, at least based on the exception that I'm seeing here. Right?
Okay.
But I want to go back to basics again. Patterns are super important. So I've read through all of this and it hasn't given me any other information other than it's telling me this is Python exe, which I didn't do any single thing with loader.python. I didn't do any single thing with any of these files. So none of it is really relevant to me. Okay. So I'm coming down to the next level. It says Python try to load these templates in this order. This in this order is very important. Okay. Now I come down to the next line. And it's telling me that it looks for Django, my site, pages, template, base HTML, and it says source does not exist. Now, if I were you, I would stay hung up on that very line. So my very next thing to do is to go confirm that my base, because I know I created a base file.
Yeah.
I know I put it in the templates folder. And I also mentioned to you that it wasn't in the right pages. So I also know that it moved it in this folder here. The question is it in this folder here?
Go.
Right.
My site, pages, template. Yeah, it's there.
Okay, so it's there. Okay, so now I might have, and then, so it's looking in there and for whatever reason, it's not finding it. And then it's also looking at some other weird locations like packages, Django, contribution, base, etc., etc. None of these mean any sense to me because that's not where I'm trying to get my files.
Yeah.
But what I do know is that somehow this specific folder here, which is where my file currently is now working. So until I could figure that out, I don't move on any single thing else.
Okay.
Right? I'm attacking the problem in order of which, because Python said it does it in order, and it's clearly trying to find the file in the location that I specified. So obviously I have some kind of configuration that is wrong, or there's some kind of mismatch in the way how I set things up and how Python is like looking for that folder, and that's what's not clear. But what I should be doing, and all my energy should be zoning into how to configure the Python template to match the folder that I specify that file in.
Okay.
Right? So I'd probably start with Googling this error. Template does not exist. Right? Couldn't find Python, template does not exist, and start drilling down the rabbit hole of how does Python template work?
Okay.
Right? How do I ensure that it could find this file is what I'm trying to do, because I know I put the file there.
Yeah, it's there because I just went back and double check and it's there.
Right? So that's the known quantity, and that's where the pattern of develop, like, you're never going to have every answer.
I know. Yeah, sometimes you have to go through because even last week I was at work and the server went down.
Yeah.
And the day before I sat there like I think three hours because the person who worked on the server, he just left. He just left and with the school have the password. And so the server was down due to a power outage and nobody had the password. So I sat down, I had to go to YouTube and I had to go enter into the registry, and I got it fixed after a while. But again, you don't have to follow patterns of that. So yeah, I'll have to and go through this.
Yeah, so your folder path, my club root, my club site, templates fat. So you're saying that your file exists in
Yeah, because and then
your
it's
project is
even
called
though,
my site?
yeah, I see it as my site.
Okay.
Yeah, because I use that from the documentation. That's what we changed it to in ours to my
You
site.
have a pages folder.
Yeah.
So if you copy this exact same thing and
Okay.
paste it in the browser, what would you get?
Okay, let me see. And then the thing
Paste it
is,
in a new tab.
yeah, and then my 'cause in the folder itself, the file is there as an HTML file. It was called base, and then it shows my my HTML file. The
No,
file could not
yeah,
be
file
accessed.
not found. Okay, so you're telling me something different than what I'm seeing.
Yeah, because see the folder. I'll show you the part right now. Okay, so template pages, my site, Django, C drive, and then the file is there as a HTML file.
Okay, right click on this file, go to properties. And I can't see your thing, but you need there's a file path.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
file path.
location. Yeah, I know.
So take that path and then compare it in Notepad to the path that Django is suggesting.
Okay, I know. Okay. See now?
You're only sharing individual screens,
Okay,
so
all
every
right,
time you
all right. Sure. So my site pages, templates.
okay, but this file here, does it has hidden extension, so maybe you need to show extensions. Go back to wait, hang on a second. Copy that path for a sec. Yeah, paste that in Notepad.
At the top?
Yeah, just paste it in Notepad. And then and then go back to so base.html. So right click on this and show extensions. Right no. Where is it? You need the options
The
menu.
view? The
This
view?
one. You need the options menu. So you need this guy here. Yeah. No. What is it? I'm keep
It's a view. Right, I'll find it. It's this one. The view.
No. Right click in the just in the main area here. And then
Is it the one to show hidden folders? That one?
yes. Oh, where's yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
That one. Okay, I know.
Yeah, there we go. Change
Right
that.
there.
Yeah, so what you need to do is you need to show extensions.
Yeah, I have it. I have it on. I always keep it on because I know I tend to like have
Because then
program
if
and
you
then they
have it
have,
on, then you got a problem with
yeah,
this file. So how come is that your extension is not showing?
yeah.
No, hang on a second. Uncheck this hide extensions for known file type.
Okay.
That's what it is. Yeah,
Lighten
that's
folders.
okay. That's fine. No, we don't need that. Just click OK.
Okay.
Okay, so base.html. Okay, so that's correct. So why? That's the question. Double click on this file.
This one?
Yeah, there's something up. What like click it, just click and you just double
Oh,
click.
there we go. There we go. It's up now.
Copy this.
This?
Yeah, and then put it in a notepad.
Okay.
I'm just trying to fact check because it doesn't make any sense why.
Yeah, I know it should not be
So
running.
I'm running out of time
Okay.
here. And then go to the other one. Go to the one that you couldn't find, the previous tab.
Okay.
Copy that and put them side by side in the same notepad file.
Okay. Something.
Put them closer. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah, the exact same thing. No space, different space between them.
Again, one more level.
Yeah, I see something.
No, something is off.
Yeah.
Templates, S. There we go.
Okay.
See that?
So, all right. So I have my file. This will be an S then.
Yes, but you get my point though?
Yeah. Just the fact check.
Yes. You
Yeah.
have to go
One.
through every single piece. You can't make assumptions.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So let's run the
Okay.
code.
Now mine looks like yours. That's what I was saying. I could not fathom why it didn't look like that.
Got it.
Yeah. Cause that's like my one go thing. Once I check for colors, if I don't see colors, I know immediately something is off.
Right.
Okay, there we go.
Fantastic. Okay. So what's the lesson here? We fact checked everything.
Yeah, fact check and double check spelling and
Everything. Even when it seems very obvious, you just go through.
Well, the next thing I would have done, I was going to recreate the folder, just move the file over because
But that's my entire point. I'm trying to show you that what you're doing is you're guessing. Don't guess, right? There's a well, and this is not your problem alone. This is every junior developer programmer does this, right? What you do is you look at the things like, well, okay, there's something wrong here, and then you start doing hunches. But the error message told you exactly what the problem is. It's like, hey, I can't find this file. It told you that. It's like, I cannot find this file. And in your brain, well, the file is there because the file was there. There's a base, it's in templates. We were missing an S. And then we went to the folder directly and we checked and the file was there. But why is it that the computer is telling us I can't find this file still? The computer is not wrong. So the single thing to do is start to compare literally the direct path to that file that you have with the direct path of where the computer is at, right? Okay. Because else what you're doing is it's called what's the word for it? It's something bias. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's like personal bias is the name of it. Right? So personal bias, in culture, it's like, I look at a white person, I automatically think that they have money, right? That's your personal bias. Well, why does personal bias exist? Because, well, in the colonial days and in the Caribbean, the people that travel and come to the Caribbean, generally speaking, they have money. That's not always true. There's tons of poor people in America that are white. Yeah. But your personal bias
tells you differently.
So in the programming world, there is such a concept as personal bias. I forgot the exact terminology for it. But what it is your brain has already told you that you already have a file called base and it's in templates folder. Computer's telling you otherwise. So your personal bias overlook just checking.
Yeah, the single letter.
And that file.
Yeah. Well, the first I came to my mind, and like you said, I was guessing because, like, okay, the color don't look right. So I did create a folder, and so I was trying to hurry, so I didn't move it because I was like gonna create a folder, move everything over again. I said maybe that would have been an error for me.
Yeah. So and the other thing there is that, and you're obviously right with the color. Like, it's not your hunch was correct. The problem is you had no way of fact checking your hunch, right?
Yeah.
And because of the fact that Python is a conventional, it focuses on convention, right? Like, it has very strong opinionated ways in terms of what folder you need to name it, where the folder should be located, etc., etc. So, okay, we made some progress. A little bit over time today, but we made some progress. So, all right, we'll tackle it. Did you get the recording from last week?
Yes, I got it. I got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right, perfect. Okay,
All right. Thank you. I'll see you next week then.
enjoy your rest of your weekend.
Same to you.